breaking news in the race for the White House. Our senior national correspondent, John Roberts, has the latest details and joined us live on the phone from Miami. John?
Hey, good afternoon to you, Jenna. Fox News has learned that tomorrow, Mitt Romney, who of course was the GOP standard-bearer presidential candidate in 2012, is going to make a major speech from the University of Utah on the current state of the race. Clearly, Mitt Romney is taking a look at what happened last night in Super Tuesday, seeing how this is going, and has got some thoughts that he wants to share with the party and the country. He's going to talk about where he sees this race, where he sees it headed, the choices facing the Republican Party and the country. We'll also talk about what he thinks the direction of the party might be if the current course continues. From talking with people very close to Romney, he may not single out Donald Trump specifically, but clearly over the last week, Jenna, we have seen Mitt Romney talk a lot about Donald Trump, talking about potential problem with his taxes, the tweet that he set out when Donald Trump was trying to clear up what he said about former KKK leader David Duke, a tweet that said, quote, "It's a disqualifying and disgusting response. Trump's coddling of the repugnant bigotry is not in the character of America." Let me stress, though, that this is not an indication that Mitt Romney is going to jump into this race. He is not, and it's not an endorsement either. More, this is just the man who was the standard bearer in 2012 coming out and saying what he thinks about the state of the race. Clearly, though, with this emerging split in the Republican Party, there are many people, particularly those who support Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, who are going to look at Mitt Romney as a member of the old guard and not where the Republican Party is going. So there are some people who will probably take to heart what Mitt Romney says tomorrow, others who will probably stand in strong opposition to it, Jeff.
So if he's not endorsing anybody and he's not entering the race and he's seen the anger and the backlash among some in the party, why does he think this will be impactful?
I think he's just like another member of the Republican establishment who are looking at the way that this is going, saying, there are many people in the Republican establishment who believe that if Donald Trump becomes the nominee, that the party will fracture in ways that it hasn't since 1964, that may take a decade or more to recover from. There are almost as many people on the other side who say Donald Trump is exactly what the Republican Party needs. We need to shake things up in Washington. We need an outsider who is not of the establishment. I think it will probably be, to some degree, a very polarizing speech tomorrow, but it's one clearly Mitt Romney feels he has to make. It will be at 11:30 Eastern time from a music hall at the University of Utah, and I expect that we'll probably carry that here on Fox News.
And a quick final question for you, John. How long has this been in preparation? The timing is obvious. It's right before the debate. It's right after Super Tuesday. Do you know how long they've been thinking about this? Is this something that just came together over the last several days?
He has clearly been thinking about the state of the race for a while now, Jenna. This idea of speech, though, is something that's just manifested itself over the last couple of days. And I think for Mitt Romney, seeing the results of last night with Donald Trump winning 7 of 11 races, that a sense of urgency for him, at least, has grown to the point where he wants to get out there and wants to have his say.
And do you think he's ruled out completely, John, entering into the race? That we've heard reports of that. I know you say that's not what tomorrow is about, but from your sense and your reporting, is that something that he's even entertaining, the idea of?
From everything that I have heard from people close to him, Jenna, he is not in any way entertaining getting into this race. But, you know, this has been a year where the unusual has become usual. And if the nation goes into the convention in July, and no candidate has the 1,237 delegates needed to win, and there is no nominee who is declared on the first vote, under Republican rules, all of those delegates become unbound, and then it is a free-for-all, and anyone, even if they haven't been involved in the primary process, could potentially jump into the race. So while Romney and people close to him say he doesn't want to get back into this race, it could be, depending on how this goes in the next few months, that the final tale will not be told until July.
So interesting, again, timing of it tomorrow, 11:30, as you mentioned, John, something that we'll be watching. What does he have to say? He's apparently not endorsing anybody, not entering the race, but what does he have to say, and will it matter? I mean, that's going to be one of the next questions that we ask about in this conversation. John Roberts with this breaking news. John, thank you very much. We're going to